this is convenient because usually on Mondays after Bills victories, what do we have? We have the Maddy Awards, and look, she's right here. So the Maddy Awards are presented by Energy Mart, the official energy supplier to the Buffalo Bills, and we kind of sat on these for a few days because we had like a different kind of day after game show on Friday. So we waited until the appropriate time when we usually do this, which is Monday after a victory. So here are the latest edition of the Maddy Awards coming off of week 3.
So first, we're giving it to, well, I'll give you the award first. Mr. Dependent is our award to start this week's, and it's going to the running back, James Cook. That's because the Bills are depending on James Cook to move this offense. Buffalo's offense is more sophisticated with Cook in it. He's nimble. He's got great vision. A very confident player, too, this season. Joe Brady, Buffalo's offensive coordinator, says Cook is playing stronger, and you can see that with the way that he moves with the ball in his hands. He is confident. He can break tackles. We see what he can do when they're in the red zone, when they're close on the goal line. The offensive line also gets the assist with how Cook played against Miami because the offensive line was opening up those lanes for Cook. He finishes with over 100 rushing yards, a rushing touchdown. Cook has 19 carries in the game against the Dolphins. The week before, he has 21. They are handing the ball to a running back at a rate consistently to start the season that I have not seen them do since Josh Allen was drafted in 2018.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason for that is his effectiveness, obviously, but I think even in last week's game, he is 2 shoestring tackles away from long touchdown runs, including one that would have been 65 yards. But I've also seen this a couple of times through the first 3 weeks. We see Coach Skipper on the sidelines getting ready to send like Ray Davis or Ty Johnson in. And I've seen James wave him off. Like, I'm not coming out kind of thing. And it's kind of hard to argue with that. Like, the guy's being productive.
Yeah.
Let him cook.
Literally.
So I think that there's an element of that, too. He's purposely saying, I am not coming out right now.
Keep me in the game.
Let me stay in the game and finish this drive. And look, we hear this from running backs all the time. Some of them feel as though they can read defenses better and make better decisions with the ball in their hand when they're in the flow of the game and not coming in and out of the game. And look, there is a purpose to everything that the Bills try to do substitution-wise. Some of it at times is to give him a break. Give him a rest so he's fresher in the fourth quarter when you might need him. It really hasn't been an issue yet. We'll see if this workload continues. If he has to take more breaks later in the season. For right now, it's going pretty good. So I get it.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with it.
Next up is our Momentum Shifter Award. That's going to a roughing the kicker penalty. Who knew that a roughing the kicker penalty was going to shift things in Buffalo's favor? I had, raising my hand, no idea that could happen that late in the game and help Buffalo get things going in the right direction. You have the Miami Dolphins who just score in the fourth quarter to tie things up at 21. And then the Bills are about to punt. They weren't in a rhythm offensively, but a roughing the kicker penalty keeps the drive alive. The Bills end up scoring on that drive, taking the lead, and after that, everything goes in Buffalo's favor. You have an interception following that drive by Miami. Terrell Bernard grabs the interception, then the Bills score a field goal, and then the game is over. That was a huge momentum-shifting play at the end of that game.
I called it on Friday's show the dumbest play in the game. There's no other way to say it. I mean, you just laid it out. You have a tie football game. Your offense is moving the football. Your defense stopped them. And in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you're getting the ball back. The fact that a veteran player who's a team captain did that, like, there is no reason to be that aggressive in that spot. Tie game, you're getting the ball back in the fourth quarter against Josh Allen and the Bills on their home field where they haven't lost in almost 2 years. And you do that. Just catastrophic and horrendously dumb decision. Dumbest play in the game, and it's not even close.
And that's what it comes down to is, plays in games like that. If it doesn't go in your favor, you got to find a way to stay in it. And I mean, that interception that Terrell Bernard had, that was a chance for Miami to, okay, we made a stupid decision here. Let's go and score on the next drive. And speaking of Terrell Bernard's interception, he's our next award. Nail in the coffin going to Terrell Bernard for the interception he had in the fourth quarter of the game. Miami was on Buffalo's 21-yard line. They had a chance to tie it up with minutes left in the game. Buffalo's defense needed to show up, and boy, oh boy, did they. Terrell Bernard did a great job of reading Tua Tagovailoa on that play. He knew where Tagovailoa was going, was able to jump in front of it, grab the ball, and Buffalo's defense has been so good with coming up with these huge takeaways when they need it. Defensive coordinator Bobby Babich said he was not surprised that Bernard did it on that play. It's surprising in a game like that because you're waiting for something to happen, and it happens for Buffalo. They go and score a field goal off of that takeaway, and game over. That was another big play in that game.
Yeah, and that's why I call him Mr. Fourth Quarter, because Terrell Bernard makes all these plays in the fourth quarter. Whether it's that last Thursday, fourth quarter INT, jumping the route, whether it's hopping on the forced fumble by Ed Oliver in the fourth quarter against the Ravens, the punch out on Mark Andrews in the fourth quarter of the divisional playoff, the interception at the end of the game against the Chiefs in Week 11 last year. Like, the guy just shows up in the fourth quarter. So make it popular.
Yeah.
Mr. Fourth Quarter, that's just who he is.
And a lot of that is instincts, but I think a lot of that, too, is the film study you do during the week to know exactly what is going to happen, to know what the team's tendencies are when the game is tight, when it's in the fourth quarter, when you may have a quarterback who has some deficiencies and might show it on one play. Here, I'm going to take advantage of it, and Terrell Bernard did that.
And TB credited Al Holcomb, his linebackers coach, with kind of showing him that look in film study through the course of the week. So he was prepped for it, he was ready for it, and then he recognized it when it mattered most. So that was awesome. How about the Welcome to the Club Award?
Welcome to the Club Award. That's going to our tight end, Jackson Hawes. There's a christening that happens when you play for Buffalo's offense. And when you play for a quarterback like Josh Allen, you learn very quickly that no play is ever over with Allen. Allen escapes the pocket on this play, looking like he might run it into the end zone. Nope. A quick pitch to the rookie, Jackson Hawes, for a touchdown. Welcome to the club, young fella. You know that your head has to be on a swivel at all times with Allen as your quarterback. Also, shout out to him laying the block before catching the touchdown pass.
Well, it was interesting because I heard a post-game interview with him when I was driving home in the car after the game that got played back later in the evening, and he basically said, I screwed up, and we had to call timeout before that play because he was misaligned. So he's like, thanks to Josh for still having faith in me and coming to me on the very next snap. But, yeah, he said, I'm learning very quickly that your head has to be on a complete swivel when Josh has the ball, because you might get it even if you don't think you are.
I mean, if that
Can you imagine living that way?
Yes, if that was me and I'm a rookie and I'm just, like, learning how to play with this offense that goes off for 30 points a game, I'm blocking, I'm just trying to help out my team, and then here comes the ball flying in my direction. I'd be like, ha! I wouldn't be able to catch it. I'd be screaming. And Jackson Hawes puts his paws out and grabs the ball for his first NFL touchdown. Way to go, Rook.
All right, the Good Teammate Award, and actually it's funny that you have this one here because my wife mentioned this and how much more she thought of Keon after witnessing this.
Okay, Good Teammate Award. It happens on the Jackson Hawes touchdown play. It's going to Keon Coleman because Jackson Hawes spikes the heck out of that ball to the point where the ball goes flying, and here comes Keon Coleman, like running with his arms flailing, going to catch the ball. ball, going to find out where it is so I can give it back to Haas so he can have that ball for his first touchdown catch as an NFL player. I thought it was so funny. We rewatched that play a bunch in the office because Keon Coleman comes out of nowhere and he's like, oh no, let me go grab the ball.
Yeah, because somebody did that for him last year, and I'm trying to remember who the heck it was. I want to say it was Dawson Knox or maybe a lineman that retrieved Keon's first ball because he put it on the ground also and did a little dance thing.
You forget about it in the moment.
Yeah,
You're not
you do.
like, oh my gosh, I need this ball.
Yeah, so cool that he kind of returned the favor and paid it forward, so to speak. The Heating Up Award.
Heating Up Award, it's going to the tight end, Dalton Kincaid. Kincaid has been a solid target for Buffalo's offense to start the season. 81.3% catch rate through 3 games. That is an awesome number. He's had at least 4 catches in every game. It's a good number for offense that has seen at least 8 different players catch passes in each game so far. Kincaid has 2 touchdowns through 3 games. And as a tight end, Dalton Kincaid is such a mismatch. He's got impressive hands. He's tough to guard because of his length, because of where he plays in this offense. And then offensive coordinator Joe Brady spoke on Kincaid's start to the season on Friday, and he attributed what he's done so far this season to the work that Kincaid has put in offseason. Kincaid was somebody who was in the building almost every single day of the offseason in February, in March, when everybody was still in California and Florida going on vacations. Kincaid was here working, and it's paying off right now.
Yeah, and look, as exciting as it is to see him running like we're used to seeing him run after playing on 2 bad knees last year and all the plays he's making in the passing game, I think the part of his game that's improved the most is his blocking.
Yeah.
He's been an unbelievable blocker here through these first few games, and I think it's really made that 13 personnel when they go 3 tight ends on the field just an absolute weapon of a personnel grouping. All right, first QB in history award. This is pretty self-explanatory.
It's going to Josh Allen. Josh Allen just needs to change his name to first quarterback in NFL history because after every single game, Josh Allen gets this tied to his name because he continues to do incredible things that are very hard for quarterbacks to do in this league. After the win against Miami, he becomes the first quarterback in NFL history to reach 300 offensive touchdowns, including playoffs. Patrick Mahomes had that record. Now Josh Allen has it. Fastest player to reach 300. And then also after his 3 touchdown performance against Miami, he becomes the 6th fastest player to reach 200 career passing touchdowns. So you continue to add to these stats.
Yeah.
That's why he needs his name changed to first quarterback in NFL history because he's doing it all. And I think what's most striking about the way Allen's playing the game, I said this earlier in the show, he is so confident with what he's seeing out on the field. Allen is taking what the defense is giving him. It is such a shift from who he was as a quarterback years ago, where I see one thing, I'm going to go 40 yards down the field to the house to try and make something out of nothing. No, Allen is taking the shorter routes. It was there against Miami. They were eating up the middle of the field. It allowed them to get 31 points. When you can do that, it pisses defenses off. It makes them so mad because you're taking away the big stuff and you're just going with the shorter things. But the shorter routes are getting you 31 points. It is possible, and it is really, really hard to defend because you know quarterbacks sometimes want to take the top off of a defense, and it's just really hard with an arm that Allen has not to just step back and be like, you know what, guys, I'm going to air it out on this play. He was so good about being patient in the pocket against the Dolphins.
Yeah, and they've been extraordinarily efficient as well. So Mahomes and Allen, the only 2 quarterbacks to hit 300 offensive touchdowns before age 31. Anybody else who had done it before was 31 years old or older. Mahomes did it right before his 30th birthday, which was last week. Josh is still 29, and he's done it already, too. All right, the last one, Absolute Legends Award.
Absolute Legends going to our Bills legends who were on the scene for that Week 3 game against Miami. Stevie Johnson and Ryan Fitzpatrick. They were so fun to watch out there. So Stevie Johnson, obviously the legend of the game, did a great job of leading the charge before the game started. And then the Bills score a touchdown, and you're like, who is that in the corner of the end zone with the Bills flag? Oh, it's Stevie Stevie Johnson with the Bills flag, just having the time of his life, running around in the end zone. I love to see it because that is who Stevie Johnson is. He's got this incredible personality. I love being around him, and I think Bills fans love seeing him back in the stadium. And then we got to see Fitz back in the stadium because he works for Amazon Prime, was doing the broadcast. And, you know, when he's in Buffalo, when they're on the desk, Fitz is just going to take his shirt off for the fans. And, of course, he did so.
That's his shtick. He's a showman,
Deion Dawkins, Josh called him. Yeah, Deion Dawkins kind of lifted his shirt up first and was like, come on, Fitz, do it. And then all the fans are chanting, take your shirt off. And Fitz, the showman that he is, took his shirt off for Bills fans. Just what they needed.
I'll bet he
Absolutely
never
electric.
Yeah, I bet he never realized that when he did that for the first time during the perfect playoff game when he was up in the stands. I don't think he ever thought that that would soon become his shtick with Bills fans, but here we are.
It's stuck.
And the cool thing about Stevie waving that flag was after the Bills beat the Patriots in Week 3 of 2011, Fred Jackson and Brian Scott, a safety/linebacker hybrid player for the Bills, came on the field after the win and grabbed those flags and started running around. So it was kind of a nice reprisal.
Yeah.
It was like a reprisal of what had happened back in 2011. So I just thought that was really cool. Stevie was doing it still during the game in the first quarter on Thursday night, but it still worked. And he also had the shirt reveal
that was
with
cool.
right here, right now on his shirt, which he used to do after
awesome.
touchdowns back in the day. So kind of a really cool thing that we saw last week with the win. Got to take a break here, but those are the Maddy Awards presented by Energy Mark. We will get to the phones when we get back here on One Bills Live. Stay with us.